Hmm? Ah!
Here's to being dead.
You're taking this extremely well.
Taking what extremely well?
That I'm here.
I don't give a damn if you're dead. Or time traveling, or the ghost of Christmas past. All I care about is this whiskey. So bottoms up. Get the hell out of my house.
This isn't your house, James.
Hell, it ain't.
No. You just lived here for a while. This was never your house.
Who are you? You sure as hell ain't John Locke.
What makes you say that?
Because Locke was scared. Even when he was pretending he wasn't. But you... you ain't scared.
What if I told you I was the person who could answer the most important question in the world?
And what question is that?
Why are you on this island?
I'm on this island because my plane crashed. Because my raft blew up. Because the helicopter I was on was riding one too heavy.
That's not why you're here. And if you come with me, I can prove it.
Well, I guess I better put some pants on.
Welcome to the Revisited podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Kristin. This week we are going over Season 6, Episode 4, The Substitute, a Lock, Not Lock episode.
I love how it changes every week. The way, like last week it was, this week we're on Lost Revisited, we're covering Lost. And
it's so awkward. I hate it.
Well, we only have 15 more episodes to do it?
Yep.
Before we switch into our next series, which we've kind of revealed to a certain group. We haven't revealed it publicly yet. But we do know the series that we're covering next. And
yes. The series after that.
And the series after that. We're 2 series ahead now when we still have to finish Lost. But I'm incredibly excited for the next series.
Me too. It's going to be fun.
It's very fresh. We will say that. It is a show
cut
that
is fresh.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. It is going to be a fun and emotional ride as we dive into that. But we're going to keep you hanging for a couple more weeks before we officially announce what the show is going to be. We want to get through a little bit more of season 6 first.
A little bit. I mean, we're only on episode 4.
Yep. So, apologies for last week. I know we mentioned we were doing a very relatively quick turnaround in recording because I was working the Fan Expo show in Philly, and so we weren't going to have the weekend to record. And then Kristin had a Memorial Day hangover.
I did. It was bad. It was so bad. Oh my gosh.
So we did not record. So we did miss a week, and we apologize for that. However, we do have plans in effect now to make sure we don't miss another episode. Our recording schedule is on lock.
Yep. School is over.
We're heading into the summer, which gives us a little bit more free time.
Yes.
So we're, knock on wood, we should be good to go until the end of season 6.
Yes.
Going forward, which hopefully no more missed weeks between now and the end, which is going to be good.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we don't like it either.
Mm-mm.
Trust me, like you guys miss it, and I mean, I got a number of messages on Facebook like, "No Lost this week."
Sweet. No,
like, no,
sorry. We're dumb. We're stupid.
Kristin and I love recording together, so
yes.
Trust me, we miss it too when we don't get to do it. So
yeah, we're usually in here half the day.
yeah, we've already been on
an hour.
Not an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's been almost an hour before we even hit the record button, and even then, it was another 5-6 minutes before we started.
Well, we had to clear our throat,
which takes a good 5 to 6 minutes.
It does.
Yeah. Actually, it's more 3 seconds of clearing throat, and then 5 minutes of making fun of each other, clearing our throats, and quoting Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's it. That's all it is.
That's pretty much what it is. But onward we go. Season 6, episode 4, The Substitute.
We are a spoiler-filled podcast, so please remember that as you're going into this episode.
Thank you.
If you need to finish the season, please do so, because by the time you're done, we'll still be recording, so it's fine.
Unless you're watching week to week with us, and then
rewatching week to week
with us. And those are the people I feel sorry for the most when we miss a week, is because they also have to wait a week before they can watch the next episode.
I know.
Unless but again,
they know the series like really well. So
exactly. I mean, if they're rewatching along with us, they've already seen it, so they kind of know.
So just keep watching.
Yeah. But Fan Expo was fun. I will make quick mention of that. I got to share the stage with a lot of awesome people. Sean Astin, Giancarlo Esposito, Dante Basco, Stephen Amell, David Ramsey, Peter Cullen, Tom Welling, Kristen Kruick, Michael Rosenbaum. And I got to meet Michael J. Fox.
You buried the lead. That was the big one.
I buried the lead. That was a moment 37 years in the making.
Because you're old.
I am old. But for anybody who knows me personally knows that Back to the Future is my holy trilogy. It is the movies. I forget Lord of the Rings, forget Star Wars. Like Back to the Future is my holy trilogy. I am such a huge fan of Michael J. Fox outside of Back to the Future. And I didn't know how many opportunities there would be to meet Michael in the future because his condition is kind of getting worse.
Yeah.
And he even says he doesn't know how much time he has left, which is kind of sad. But I got to meet him, and
that's awesome.
I got very emotional about it after it happened. Once it sunk in that it happened. But he was incredibly friendly when we were introduced. He was the first to put out his hand and shake my hand and start the conversation. And I just went along with it. I'm a professional, so I didn't geek out during the conversation. It was after it was over.
Yeah.
And it started to sink in that I started getting emotional, and it was a 37-year-long build up to that moment. So it was kind of, It
was a moment.
It was a moment.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
But that was
my holy trilogy is The Mighty Ducks.
I'm not going to fault you on that.
That is my holy trilogy.
I'm not going to fault you on that. That is a good trilogy to engage in, to call.
Love The Mighty Ducks so much.
It's a shame that the series that Disney Plus did wasn't as good.
I wouldn't even see it.
I don't blame you. I didn't watch it either.
I didn't want to.
And it was already canceled.
Yeah, well, you can't have the ducks be the villains in a story. I'm sorry. You can't.
Were they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
They had the other team, the Hawks, were the good team now. I think that they were trying to take a page out of Cobra Kai.
Maybe.
But they didn't do it very well.
No, I can't. Well, and also Emilio Estevez was written out going into the second season.
I don't even know why. He's the show.
I know why.
Oh, why?
Oh, because not, and apologies if you're listening and you're one of these people. It was during COVID, and he refused to get the vaccine or mask.
Gosh,
which is sad. It's
then
sad
you
when you
lose
hear
your
that people
job.
are like this.
Then you lose your job,
and that's what happened. They were like, "Well, then you're not going to be a part of this show."
Well, it was canceled anyway, so.
Yep. So,
golly.
But yeah, I mean,
you are free to make whatever decision you want, but you are not free from the consequences.
No, and that's exactly it. Like if it's
that's
part
America.
of your job and it was procedure for that company to do that, then you follow procedure or you don't work.
Yeah. You're not that famous.
Nope. But yeah, I mean, come on. Like you're right. Gordon Bombay and the Ducks.
Yeah.
Those movies are excellent.
Amazing.
And we have interviewed somebody who was in those movies.
MC Gainey?
MC Gainey.
Oh, that's right.
He's the limo driver.
He is the limo driver.
In the first movie.
He is.
Yep.
Oh, and we didn't get to talk to him about it. Oh, well. Hey, let's talk about Lost.
Yes, let's do that.
We've done this for an hour. Okay. I want to start with a question to you.
Okay.
So we start off and in the episode when Ben is coming out of the cavern or either Ben is in the cavern or out of the cavern, but he's with Alana.
He's in the cavern.
Okay. And he tells her that Jacob was killed by the man in black. Mm-hmm. And in everything that I read, they were saying that Ben was lying. But I don't think that that's necessarily a lie. And I wanted to know what you thought about that.
I'm kind of with you on that one. So I have a note. One of my notes is, in fact, of that scene. We do get, and I initially wrote Ben lies to Alana, but then rewatching the episode the second time, I added a question mark behind it because I did start to question it. Like, yes, like if we're so used to Ben being this kind of manipulative liar,
especially to John Locke.
Exactly.
Right.
And even more so to people he's never met before, because it's easier for him to do that. Mm-hmm. It's easier for him to lie to somebody he doesn't know because
he doesn't care about them.
He does exactly. He's not invested in that person enough to care about lying to them. Mm-hmm. But we've kind of already seen this shift in Ben happen where, he is questioning a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. But in that moment when Alana asks him, like, what happened to Jacob? And he does say, like, he was killed. Did you kill him? No, the man in black did. He's not lying.
Right.
I mean, he did the physical action, but it
technically killed him.
But it was influenced by MIB.
Also, Man in Black was also the one that kicked him into the fire.
True. Ben just stabbed him.
And knowing what we know about Jacob, it is possible that he could have lived through that stabbing, especially with the healing properties on the island. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could make
the final
an argument for that.
Yeah. The death blow, in my opinion, was done by Man in Black. Mm-hmm. By pushing him into the fire. You're right.
Well, and the stabbing. I mean, the amount of manipulation and emotional torture that it took to funnel into Ben, to get Ben to do what he wanted him to do. To me, you push a person into where they're not in their right mind anymore. And then they do this unspeakable act that, yes, he would be capable of doing that to other people, but he never would have been capable of doing that to Jacob, I think, because he followed Jacob so wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like he's been so, even when he questioned everything, he was still always loyal.
Right.
To Jacob. It wasn't until the Man in Black, you're right, kind of shifted his perspective of things that he went the way he did what he did. He was provoked into the action that he made. Right. When you kind of said, you can only do that to a person so much. It's the whole poke the bear. You can only poke the bear so many times. Or that this is another movie reference, but if you've ever seen the movie Wild Hogs, you can only slap the bull so many times before the bull turns around and attacks you.
Yeah.
It's you can only you're testing the waters at that point.
Right.
You can only aggravate so much before they snap. Aggravate somebody so much before they snap, and that's what happened.
But at the same time, who was Ben really loyal to? Because he would be the one that would summon the smoke monster, not understanding that was Jacob's adversary, right? So he was following Jacob, and he was doing what he thought was Jacob's bidding, but he was employing the smoke monster to do a lot of his destructive actions. So it's interesting to kind of look at, the juxtaposition of both of those sides. And, maybe Ben was always just confused.
Well, I mean, and that just goes to show you too, like it's a good point that you mentioned about how Ben has always used the smoke monster as a tool, even through all this time before we kind of, even before the survivors of 815 arrived on this island, Ben was using this smoke monster as a tool. So there has always been a relationship between Ben and the Man in Black. We're just now in the
discovery portion of it,
the purest form.
Oh yeah,
of it. Because now the Man in Black is a physical entity. He cannot take the form of anybody else. But it's interesting because Ilana even says to Ben, like, he can't take the form of anybody else now. He's stuck in this form, but he can still transform into the smoke monster. He just can't take the shape of another person.
Yeah, because Jacob's dead.
Yes.
So now that Jacob's dead, he can't get out of Locke's body, which, maybe he should have chosen someone younger.
Maybe. Well, he does say that he chose the body of John Locke because he was a candidate.
Right.
So, but I mean, there are other candidates. It could have been, Kate. Maybe it's the fact that whose name was not mentioned, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later too.
But I mean, he could have taken Sawyer's, form. He could have.
Nah, that's too believable that Sawyer goes dark.
Well, and I think that's just
it.
I think of everybody that he could have taken the form of. John Locke was the perfect person because John Locke was the most able to be manipulated.
Well, sure. I mean, that's definitely been highlighted throughout the series. But I mean, if you're talking about somebody who's also very pure, I would, as Man in Black, I would probably try to get Hurley's body.
Yeah, Hurley could have been
that would have been easier to manipulate other people because of how good and well liked all around universally that Hurley was.
Could you imagine a dark Hurley?
No.
I know.
It would have been interesting.
Like Hurley stabbing Jacob and like...
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
No.
That would have been shocking. Shocking.
It could have, and that could have been just it. It could have been done for shock value.
Yeah.
But I mean, another interesting thing too, now that we're kind of talking about this and kind of diving deeper into the whole Ben and the smoke monster, or Ben and the Man in Black relationship, is it really true. it really is a really good example of an abusive relationship.
Yes.
In the sense that, like, if you look at them as if they were in a relationship, like these two are a couple, and, the death of Jacob aside, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to be with you. So rather than break up with you, I'm going to force you to break up with me.
Right.
Like, I'm going to treat you like shit until you break up with me. And that's exactly what happened with Ben, the Man in Black, and Jacob. It's like, well, I don't want to kill Jacob, so I'm going to make you hate him so much that you do it.
Yes.
So that I'm relieved of all the blame.
Right.
But that's also the loophole, too, that we know is that the Man in Black couldn't kill Jacob.
Right.
But it doesn't change the fact that that's exactly what it is. It's an
so if he couldn't kill Jacob, then he wouldn't have been able to kick him into the fire.
So Ben did kill Jacob.
Okay.
Because
like he was already too far gone or something.
He was already dead.
Okay.
Which the only...
But like a phoenix, he rises from the ashes into a little boy covered in bloody arms.
Well, the only nitpick I have about this entire situation is the fact that Jacob's body is completely gone. First off, that even if you completely cremate a body in a funeral home, the body does not completely disappear. It takes really hot fire to do that. Kicking a person into a fire, like a bonfire, is not going to get rid of the body.
But that's a magic fire.
Is it?
It is a magic fire because Jacob said it, and Jacob was magic.
When did he say it was a magic fire? I'm really legitimately asking because
I'm telling you it's a magic fire.
Oh.
Because I think the flames got even higher when that happened.
Like when you throw that dust in there that changes the fire to a different color.
Yeah. And maybe.
Did you ever play with that as a kid? There used to be
but we do have the magic fire pellets for when we do bonfires in the backyard.
Oh, do you? Does it change the color of the fire?
Yeah, it's rainbow flames. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It used to be a powder that you
don't breathe it in too much, but
no, it's incredibly toxic. But
we are the generation of lead.
We're the generation of toxic fire dust and lawn darts.
Processed food.
We're awesome. Well, we're still the generation of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be this dust that like different colors, like you could throw it in, it would turn a fire purple or it would turn a fire green.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you do when you're a kid with fire, is that you try and play with it more.
All the instances that you can throw out there to, make it. I mean, look, we're also the generation that used to cook food with a light bulb.
It worked.
Right?
If you waited long enough, it worked.
I used to make my sister's cakes all the time. I used to piss her off. I used to eat all her recipes from her Easy Bake Oven.
So it's interesting that you talk about Ben being manipulated into killing Jacob on his feelings with being abandoned by Jacob and not really understanding who he was following, because he was summoning the black smoke monster, but he was also following Jacob. And then you look over at Richard and you see what's going on with Richard is that the man in black, it's like he understands all these insecurities about everybody else, and which is brilliant. But he hones in on Richard's insecurity about the fact that Richard doesn't know why he's following Jacob. Like, I have it in my notes. Richard doesn't know about candidates. Like he was really confused to hear the word candidates.
That's in my notes too.
So the man in black makes a good point about following someone without knowing what or who he was following. And while Sawyer could see young Jacob in the jungle, Richard could not. So is it because his belief in Jacob is like hides or veils what he should be able to see? Is it because Sawyer is a candidate, so of course he can see Jacob? Richard looks scared in this episode, like shaken to his core.
I think you kind of touched on it a little bit because my opinion of that, because you're right, I didn't even really think about the fact that Richard couldn't see him, but Sawyer could. Mm-hmm. Sawyer's is very obvious because he says like who is that? And he's like, oh wait, you can see him, like the kid in the what? Yeah, I can see him. I think there might be a little bit to the fact that because Sawyer has been touched by Jacob.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
he can see Jacob. It's one of the reasons why I think. Isn't there a moment where Hurley can see Jacob too later?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But yeah, it's it's very interesting that you're right, that Sawyer can see him. And again, I think it's because he's been touched by Jacob. I'd be very curious to see as we're watching if at any point Jacob makes contact with Richard. If like he touches him, or if there has to be, or the touch has to be intentional. Like he can put his hand on Richard's shoulder, but if he intends to do it the way he has all the survivors in the past, like when he touches Kate's nose and touches Hurley on the shoulder and, Jin and Sun on the shoulder, like it has to be intentionally done for a reason,
for his ultimate reason
of
protector of the island. Yeah. I'm interested in when we finally get our Richard episode here in a couple of weeks on watching it again and just kind of seeing that process of him. Cause that's, we get our Richard origin story in a couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
Abaturno.
I think it's either 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I love Richard, and I remember wanting in the last season. I remember wanting so bad a Richard backstory, and when we got the Richard backstory, I was so excited.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah, looking ahead. We're a number of weeks away, so we have Lighthouse is the next episode, which is really good.
Yeah, but let's concentrate on this episode.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. Episode 9 is Abaturno.
Okay, so by Thanksgiving we should be good.
And it's interesting to note too, again, looking at all the ratings of the episodes, we Substitute is an 8.2, Lighthouse is an 8, Abaturno is a 9.2.
Yeah, because it's an amazing episode.
Yep. And then
everybody loves Richard.
We go back into the 8s until the finale, which is a 9. So, yeah.
So why do you think that Richard doesn't know about candidates?
I think it's kind of blind faith. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head in that he's kind of influenced. And we've kind of talked about this a little bit before too, that Jacob is not the purest good guy that we think he is. He has done some things. He's playing this game of chess just like the Man in Black is. He is manipulating people for his own means. Mm-hmm. And I think Richard is just another pawn in this game. And I say pawn because, like, we've mentioned who some of the other pieces are. Like, there are higher pieces, but when you look at like the bishop, the king, the queen, Richard's a pawn.
Right.
He's nothing more than a pawn.
Which is sad because, I mean, he never ages, he never dies. He's been this loyal follower for arguably hundreds of years, and he never moves up from pawn.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because you go through the series thinking that he's a lot more important than he really is.
You kind of get the impression he's like a right-hand man of Jacob.
Yes, 100%.
But then you find out this episode, he doesn't have all the information.
He has no idea.
He actually has probably no information whatsoever.
Follow this man.
Yeah. Do as I say.
Because he was manipulated by the stopwatch as well, or not the pocket watch as well, or the compass.
Mm-hmm.
He was also manipulated. It wasn't that he was had some kind of higher knowledge of Jacob. It was he was manipulated by the Man in Black in that compass loop.
He is probably of no more influence than Alana, who is,
and at least Alana knows her place.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But Alana also knows about the candidates, doesn't she?
She does.
We haven't gotten that information yet.
Gotten that yet.
We do know that Jacob saved her life.
Yes. And because she was burned.
Yeah, right. Saved her life, and she is a loyal and true follower of Jacob because, of course, she would be.
Well, I mean, and maybe that's just it. Like his followers are people who Jacob has saved. He saved them because, that's what he does, but he just doesn't give them information.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like having faith in Jesus.
It's the blind faith.
Yeah.
Like you don't even, and for some who have the blind faith like Ben, you are following blindly to something you don't even know completely exists.
Right. And that's where the faith comes in. That's where the leap of faith comes in, which Sawyer took an incredible leap of faith off a mountainside.
Let me tell you,
that set my teeth on edge.
I have it in my notes. My butt puckered so hard when I'm like, I know he survives, but still. Because I didn't remember any of that. I didn't remember the ladder coming loose.
Right. The minute that Knotlock saves his life, I'd be like, okay, this guy really isn't going to kill me because this was his chance to kill me.
He could have just let me die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it would have totally been believable.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because tying that scene into the Richard scene, there's something that this episode does, and I'm going to pose it to you to see if you kind of feel the same way.
Okay.
Does this episode make you kind of question how evil the Man in Black really is? Because we see him save Sawyer.
Yeah.
Even though he could have just let Sawyer die because there's no reason for Sawyer with him. He's literally just taking him. I mean, he does want Sawyer's help at this point to help him get off the island. Like, he's recruiting Sawyer at this point. But there are other people he could recruit if Sawyer tells him no. And at the same time, switching gears back to the scene with Richard, where Richard is in the trap, I was almost waiting for him to cut it and just let him fall. But he doesn't. He holds the rope and lowers him. He could have just let him hit the ground.
Yeah, you're right.
With no care in the world. But the fact that
so what you're saying, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the fact that he just lowers him to the ground instead is kind of like, okay, like what is his deal? Like,
so he doesn't want to take life if he doesn't have to. Maybe. Okay. And maybe he feels he had to kill Jacob in order to fulfill his end game.
Well, because, I mean, he absolutely has taken lives. More in the form of the black smoke monster.
Yeah, but did he feel that he had to?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let's look at some of the people.
Should we look at the tape?
Should we review the tape? Let's check the instant replay.
Let's get in the booth.
Let's look at some of the people he's responsible for killing. Echo,
Alex,
Boone, Alex, Kimi and his people. Like, okay, there is what it is. And now my Alexa device is going off, but you can't hear it. I can hear it. It's, you know, like they're like, he's responsible for Boone. He's responsible for Echo. He's responsible for Kimi's people. He's responsible for. I wouldn't put him on Alex. That was Kimi.
Yeah.
That was that.
But
that
he
was
did use
Kimi.
Alex later to manipulate Ben. But we're talking about lives that he's taken.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know there's been others. There's
definitely killed Boone and Echo and Echo's brother.
There's Sammy or Simi. The pilot of the plane. What did he do? Like,
yeah.
We know that he has attempted to kill other people. He's attempted to kill Charlie. He's attempted to kill, like he's chased them down. So he's not above or below killing people. He's done it.
I'm just wondering to what end, because he is not. He could have killed Richard. He didn't.
No. He
can't kill a candidate. Monster, he probably still cannot kill a candidate, no matter. Well, no, yeah, because he didn't kill Locke. Ben did.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Well, but here's also the question that we'd have to dive a little deeper. Is this also part of the manipulation of the Man in Black?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more manipulation. And I'm trying to think. I'd have to go back and look at all the people who were listed as candidates before and whose names have been crossed out. I think Boone's name was on there. I don't believe
Walt's name was on there.
Well, Walt's also not dead.
Yeah, he's not a candidate anymore.
Was Walt's name on there or was Michael's?
I think both of their names were on there.
Yeah, I have to look. If I spelled candidates wrong, it would have been nice. Or if I spelled it correctly, it would have been nice. Let's see. If we look at is there a list of candidates? Forgive me. Okay, so here we go. So we have John Locke, Hugo Reyes, Ford, Gerard, Shepard. Oh, they're only showing us. Oh, partial list of candidates. Here we go. Reyes, Gunn, Foster, Beckett, Ford, Gerard, Moorhead, Rousseau.
Rousseau would have been a disaster.
Rutherford. Well, that was Shannon. Because Boone, I don't think Boone's last name was Rutherford. But Shannon was a candidate. Because she was number 32. Kate Austin was 51. Burke was 58. Echo was a candidate.
He would have been so good.
He was number 76. And my stupid device is going off again. Shut up. Boone was not a candidate.
Was not.
Oh, yes, he was. Carlisle. 226.
226. Yep. That's a big number.
He was low on the list.
Yeah.
Miles was a candidate. So there's been a number of people who have been candidates.
Was Faraday?
Faraday was a candidate.
That's awesome.
Faraday was number 101. Charlotte Lewis was a candidate.
Who is 108?
We talked. It's unknown. Just it says Wallace, which we don't know.
William
number 9,
Wallace.
Number 109 though, Friendly.
He would have been good too,
right? But it's also interesting. I didn't notice this on the list before. 117, Linus.
Huh.
So Ben or his father was a potential candidate at some point.
Don't you think that Ben was more of a guardian anyways during his quote unquote reign on the island?
Well, yeah, because he was doing everything that he did, he always claimed was protecting the island.
I think he truly thought that too. Oh, I think that's how he reconciled his atrocities in his head.
I believe that 100%. I think that everything he did, it's like doing bad things with the best of intentions.
Right.
And that's who Ben was.
Yeah.
I think even up to the point of killing Jacob, that's what he firmly believed. And then it was like oh shit, what did I do?
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah. But it's we're gonna get more of the list of candidates within the next
week.
And Lighthouse. We got it a lot this week, but we're gonna get a lot more next week.
Well, once the Lighthouse comes into play, I think that's where we really see kind of the candidacy and how it really comes into play on the island and with our characters. I do think that it's funny that Richard said that Notlocke was recruiting, and in the flash sideways that Locke went to a recruiter to be recruited into a job.
Yeah.
So I liked all of the little parallels that were happening on the island versus in the flash sideways.
Well, even the name of the episode itself.
It's The Substitute.
The Substitute. That's what the job that he gets is as a substitute.
Right.
And that's who he is on the island. He's a substitute for John Locke.
Right. So, and I love that John Locke got to rest in peace finally.
I have that too. I have Locke laid to rest alongside other survivors.
Which is where he would have wanted to go.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
And I love that Ben is the one that made the last words, even though they weren't that heartfelt. But I
think they were.
I'm sorry I murdered him.
He was a better man than I ever could be.
Okay, so maybe you're right. Yeah. Maybe they were very heartfelt.
They were very heartfelt. I thought that his remarks at Locke's grave really shows how far he's come in his own redemption arc.
He's remorseful.
Yes. And that's huge for that character.
It's the first time he's shown true remorse. Well, other than being sorry for Alex's death.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that he's shown remorse for that as well. But this is the first time he has shown remorse for anybody outside of his family.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, because I think at this point he understands that he made a grave error in killing Locke.
Yes. Well, because I think he sees the manipulation that he's been under now.
As a manipulator, he does not like being the manipulatee.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the con man. A con man does not like to be conned.
Which is why I loved Sawyer going, "Whoever you are, you're not Locke."
That's such a great moment.
Yeah, because
I thought you were dead.
You can't con the con man.
Well, that's also not true because we've seen Sawyer get conned.
Yeah, but I think that he is past the point of caring at this point, so he's just going to say whatever comes to his mind first.
And actually, now that I think about it, who conned the con man? The man in black. Because who was it who convinced, or was it Ben? I don't remember. Who was it that convinced Sawyer to kill the man from Tallahassee? Remember in the Black Rock where they had the guy kept prisoner?
Yeah.
And it was, but that was also the man. That was also the real Sawyer.
No, Locke told him to kill him because he couldn't. Because that was his dad.
That's right. That was the tie-in between John Locke and Sawyer.
Right.
Is that the man who conned? Oh no! Yeah. What? Wait, was that the man that conned Sawyer's parents?
Yes.
And it also happened to be John's father.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. See, that was a couple seasons ago, so I tend to.
Yeah. And
I forget.
Because Locke had to come back with his dad's body in order to be accepted into the group, but he couldn't kill his dad, so he got Sawyer to do it for him.
That's right.
Of the letter.
John is the one that manipulated Sawyer.
Yes.
Into doing it.
One of his rare evil moments.
Yeah. But I mean, in a sense, that's also kind of conning the con man.
Maybe, I don't know, because he knew that was Sawyer's entire life goal was to do that. Kept that letter on him his whole life. That's all he ever wanted to do was exact justice for what happened to his family. So in a way, they helped each other out. I'm not sure that was a manipulation.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe it was a manipulation, but that's how I saw it.
While we are talking about John Locke's father, I thought it was interesting that we get a mention of him this episode in the Flash Sideways, in that when John and Helen are talking about the wedding, it's brought up that like John's father will be at the wedding, which makes you question, okay, how did John get paralyzed?
Well, there was also a picture of John and his dad on Locke's desk. So I think that this is why we don't see an angry John, because he had so much unresolved anger in his original storyline for how he got paralyzed because he was conned by his father, lost a kidney, and then his dad tried to kill him by throwing him out a window. You know what I mean? So without all of that trauma saddling him, I think it was like a car accident or something, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. I think we're going to get that later. But I think you're right. I think he was hit by a car.
Yeah.
And that's how he becomes paralyzed in the Flash.
You see him still trying to come to terms with the fact that he is paralyzed and the changes in his life and the limitations that he faces. But you see more of a helplessness than you see of like this anger that John always had in his original timeline.
He has Hurley's unluck. He has Hurley's bad luck.
Hurley doesn't have a lick of it either.
No.
Like that, he tries to smash Hurley's car and the ramp stops it's like he has a little invisible barrier bubble around him and all of his things, and everything works out for Hurley in the Flash Sideways. It's crazy.
Well, we've kind of seen him already in last week's episode when in what Kate does. He's outside of the airport. He's on the phone. He's conducting a business meeting. He just got back from Australia because it looks like he's ready to partnership with Outback Steakhouse or like buy Outback Steakhouse, who the hell knows with Hurley at this point. But he is incredibly successful. He's lucky. He's happy. Like, this is a totally different Hurley, which we're going to see more of as we progress into the season.
Kind of like you want Hurley to have that life. You're like, can we just have the Flash Sideways be this just for Hurley?
Well, because everybody loves Happy Hurley. Like, everybody loves Hugo. So we want to see his success. But it's interesting to see this different John, because he's the same in the sense that he is paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair. He lied about what he did when he was in Australia. We do find out that you were indeed correct and I was wrong in that he did try to go on the walkabout and they wouldn't let him go. They told him no. But he's not the whole don't tell me what I can't do John Locke. He's very unlucky, but we also find out the huge difference between the John Locke that we know and this John Locke is he is accepting of his condition.
Well, he finally accepts it when he talks. He's finally honest with Helen. Like, it's just that it's that old story of just people in general that don't share their inner turmoil with their loved ones and how that can be so toxic to somebody. But he actually finally was like, open up that box and it's knives, or, or I got fired and this is why I got fired. And I'm having these problems because I want to be able to walk down the aisle with you because I feel like that's what you want. And then he learns that's not what she wants. She just wants him to be him, and that acceptance of who he is for everything that he is and isn't, I think was finally what John really needed to hear for him to accept what was happening to him. And it was beautiful.
And it would be interesting too, because if you look at the John that we know up until this point, that's something he never had. So
right.
How would his life have been different had someone just accepted John for who he was?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was never, again, that's the whole "don't tell me what I can't do" mantra that he donned early on.
He did say it though in the Flash Sideways when he was talking about the walkabout and what he said to the walkabout people.
Mm-hmm.
And then John and then Knotlock says it on the island.
But again, I found that interesting too, that he kind of took that.
That's crazy that he took on a lockism in his, not lock state.
Maybe that's part of the thing, is that he takes on, because he very clearly does have John's memories.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's part of it. Like if he's kind of influenced by whoever he takes on.
Mm-hmm.
So because John had that embedded in his head, he couldn't help but use it for himself unintentionally.
Right.
Like it just happened as an instinct. That's something that he said. But again, you're right. He does say it in the Flash Sideways, but we don't hear it again after that because, like you said, Helen tells him, all I want is you. Like, I don't care about all of that stuff. She's accepting of him, so he's accepting of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter anymore.
It's a true partnership at the end after that conversation. And that was beautiful to see.
Which I just want to say, I love Katie Sagal.
Who doesn't, man? She's awesome.
She is a delight. I love it. Anytime she pops up in anything, from Married with Children till now, even like Sons of Anarchy.
She was fantastic in Sons of Anarchy.
She's a delight. I love Katie Sagal.
She's wonderful. And she was in Big Bang Theory. She played Penny's mom in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, which great.
She was also her mom in...
She was also her mom in 8 Simple Rules.
Yes.
Yep.
I loved that. I loved that. So
it was a nice connection that they brought her back for that.
Yeah.
So, and she's great in Big Bang Theory too.
Yes. So she was awesome in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Hilarious.
So, I found that very interesting, that we get mention of Ben's father. We know that this is a very different Ben, or not Ben, John Locke. Because of all this. I loved, since we're talking about the Flash Sideways and you mentioned that recruiter, I love that the recruiter was Rose.
Oh, that was so cool. And I love that they had that really nice conversation about your limitations and making your life work.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, keep going.
No, I think you're right. Like, her sharing her story about how she has cancer with John, I think kind of helped him accept things a little bit more, because he's seeing somebody else who has accepted what has happened to them. So it kind of influenced him a little bit to be able to do that. But even as a recruiter, I love that, like, he was adamant that he wanted to do this job in construction. And she was like, I'll send you over there, but they're just going to send you back here tomorrow. Like, she was fully upfront with him, which was great. And I don't think that's really a change of character for Rose, because Rose has always been upfront and forward.
Yep.
About everything. Like, to everyone. Doesn't matter who.
Jack, if you say live together, die alone, I'm going to punch you.
So yeah, I've loved seeing Rose return in this format. So that was really great too. So
yeah, I agree. And then we see Locke become a substitute teacher, where he's a PE teacher telling kids to run in a wheelchair. He's teaching about the reproductive system in a wheelchair. And then we have him go into the teaching lounge and he makes his first teacher friend, which happens to be Benjamin Linus.
Yes.
Who teaches European history. And I think that that's kind of a perfect subject for him.
And it's very interesting, too, that you mention the fact that, like, he becomes a substitute. He becomes a PE teacher. He becomes a substitute for the human, like, whatever class that is.
Health. It's usually health.
And it's usually tied into physical education as well. He is teaching kids to do things he can't do.
Right.
Which is such a great change in dynamic. It really
happy.
And it kind of forwardly progresses the whole acceptance.
Yes.
Because he would have never done that had he not accepted his own condition.
100%. Yep. Yeah, I like this ending for Locke. I like this whole thing for Locke and for Hurley. Like, I just think the Flash Sideways works so well for both of them.
Yeah, these are people that the Flash Sideways has kind of become a better life for them.
Mm-hmm.
For some of them, it's a little bit of a trip to get there. Like John has to take a little bit of a trip to get there emotionally and such. Hurley, he's successful right from the start. Like he's a lottery winner. He's businesses. Kate, not so much. Kate's still on the run. And we still have to see some more of these characters. We've met Jack already in the Flash Sideways, but we haven't really followed through with him yet.
Sawyer too.
and Sawyer as well. And on that note, this is a little bit of spoiler territory. We do know as the Flash Sideways progress forward, John will go visit Jack for that consultation.
Oh.
He does in fact go for that consultation a little bit later on in the season. And I think it is because he has accepted his condition that he does that, because he is willing to face the consequences of it not working.
That's so key too, because it's one thing to go in and have like all this hope and then be disappointed at the end and have to like kind of go through the grieving process or whatever. But for Locke to go into that appointment and just be like, I'm okay with either one.
Yeah.
I need to know the answer because I'm pretty sure my wife needs to know the answer.
If this works, great.
Yeah.
My wife will be happy. I will be happy. I will get to live my life. If it doesn't,
go on my walkabout.
If it doesn't work, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've already accepted the condition that I'm in.
And my wife still loves me. I like me. You know, he likes himself by the end of this particular episode. And I think that that's something we haven't seen of John Locke since the very beginning. He likes who he is at the end of this episode. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. You're right. It's a great ending for John.
Which is needed because the other side of not Locke is just pretty effing terrible, right?
And it kind of plays into what the series finale of this show actually is, which we'll get to by the end. It's moving on, and some of these characters are able to do it, and it takes a little bit of a journey to get to a point where you're comfortable to move on. And this is John's journey. He's accepting of himself. He's happy with who he is. That gives him the ability to move on. And by the end.
It's so funny after having this conversation about Locke.
Jacques Shepherd.
I know. I love this episode so much more after talking about it. Like I like the Locke episodes, but at the end I'm just kind of like, I hate so much that Locke is turned into not Locke. But I do like how we have two sides of Locke during this whole episode. And really the not Locke, I hate saying this, but it's almost justifiable what he's doing.
Well, I mean, and again, like, we haven't talked really about this yet, in that, like, in the whole moments with him and Sawyer in the cave, when he shows them the names on the list. I love the fact that he takes that stone and throws it, because now there's no more balance. There's no more balance.
Yeah.
And he just chucks that stone out of the cave. It's an inside joke.
But he also assumes the White Rock side of the scale when talking to Sawyer. Sawyer is on the Black Rock side of the scale, and not Locke grabs the white stone, chucks it out, and then he kind of assumes the position right there, kind of like, I am going to be the light now. Or maybe I'm looking too far into it.
Oh, that's interesting. I never looked at it that way, but I could definitely see that.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I think this might be too wild.
It could be. I mean,
yeah.
God knows if anybody will tell us it's too wild, it'll be Des when we get feedback from him. But yeah, that's interesting. I never picked up on that he does. He actually is standing on the side. I mean, he's not physically standing on the scale.
Right.
But he is on that side.
Yeah, he's replaced the White Rock. He's replaced Jacob.
But going back to the previous point about like when they're in the cave and they're showing the names he crosses the line through Locke's name, and he's showing Sawyer all these other names that are on the cave wall, and he says you have choices, and the third choice is we just leave, like we just get out of here. Like I think it's very similar to how Ben is doing the worst of things with the best of intentions. It could also be argued Man in Black is doing the same exact thing, and that he just wants to leave. That's it.
Well, I think it's because he has this like very realistic point of view when it comes to people in general. And you get that from the very first episode of the season where Jacob's like, all people are wonderful and they have such great qualities and da-da-da. And Man in Black is like, no, man, people suck. Like, okay, they're good for a little bit, but then their greed or quest for power or, selfishness, just it corrupts them and it ultimately gets in the way because people suck.
Yeah.
And I mean, the cynic in me completely agrees with that. And the optimist in me is completely on Jacob's side. So it's just kind of like, how do you find that balance? And I feel like, Man in Black doesn't want to find the balance. He just wants to be proved right that all people suck. And Jacob doesn't want to find the balance because he wants to prove that all people are pure and wonderful. And there was never any conversation of how do we balance that out.
And that's another good point too, is like you kind of question a little bit, like had these guys just worked together,
would have been fine.
This would have never come to be like this way, because you're right. One of them falls heavily on one side and the other one falls heavily on the other. There really is no balance between the two of them. Like had they just met somewhere in the middle and worked together, it would have been a completely different scenario.
Yes. Much like if Jack and Locke had worked together from the very beginning, they would have found their own balance.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like that would have been, things could have been so different.
But
then we wouldn't have gotten
much less drama. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been nearly as fun to watch.
I want to switch over really quick and talk about Sawyer and Not Locke's hike to the mountainside when they're talking about Of Mice and Men. And first of all, the fact that Sawyer's favorite book is Of Mice and Men totally goes with his personality. And I like that he sees himself as George and he was seeing Not Locke as Lenny.
As Lenny, yeah.
And he almost kills him and he thinks about killing him or whatever. But, there's a theme of Mice and Men of kind of helplessness, hopelessness, and loss of a dream, right? I mean, George and Lenny's big thing in the book is that they're going to live on a farm with the rabbits. They're not going to work for anybody else. They're going to get a piece of the sky and they're just going to ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after. And the book is slowly realizing that this dream is never going to actually come true. Right. Mm. And I feel like Sawyer is in the end of that book where he's lost Juliet. He's stuck on this island. He is grieving. He's, got some entity that is walking around in a Locke suit trying to tell him what to do. And I think that his story really aligns very well with George's story in Of Mice and Men. And I thought that was just perfectly placed in the episode.
That's a good comparison. I never really even thought about it that way, in that you're right. Like
Of Mice and Men is my favorite book.
Are you saying that as you, or are you saying that as Sawyer?
No, it's my favorite book.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it makes sense that you can make the comparison
Right.
more easier because it's been years since I've read Of Mice and Men. But yeah, it's interesting. I never really it's interesting that you can make the comparison of Sawyer to being in that moment
in that stage,
as that stage, because he is still he's not as broken, but he's still very broken at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really fully gets repaired until he's in that church.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, because if you
losing
look at
Juliet, it just destroyed him.
Well, when you look at it too, again, this is the whole comparison to this is John Locke's story that fast forward to the series finale is what's able to help him move on and move past. We kind of get the same thing a little bit later on in this season with Sawyer, in that in the flash sideways, him and Juliet reconnect. They do meet each other in it.
In a coffee shop, right?
Well, yeah, because it goes back to the whole, while Juliet was dying and Sawyer got to say goodbye, when she says to him, we should get coffee sometime. In that moment, there really is a strong connection there, making you realize that the flash sideways is the moment before passing on into the afterlife.
Yeah.
Which is what the flash sideways, by the end of the series, spoiler alert, that is what the flash sideways is. It's the final moments before passing on into the afterlife. And it shows right there, which we'll get to it and we'll dive deeper into it, when Juliet says right before she dies, we should get coffee sometime. That is her in that moment we will see later of her and Sawyer before they move on into the afterlife.
We can go Dutch.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Those two lines that she says to Sawyer before she dies will come back.
Yes, I do remember that.
But again, in that same instance, you're right. Sawyer is broken. We don't see him better again until he's in that church at the end. But who's he with in that church at the end?
He's with Juliet.
Yeah. Because Juliet is what heals him. And Juliet, he moves on with Juliet, which I think is just beautiful for both of them.
Yes. Well, it just proves that they were meant to be together.
Mm-hmm. And their time, unfortunately, was cut short. But it also shows the short amount of time that they had together, how significant it was.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it was only 3 years, but 3 years in the scope of their entire lives is a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think it was only 3 years, but that's the moment that they move on together, that shows how significant that short amount of time was.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
This is another reason why I loved the series finale.
Mm-hmm.
And and now that we're talking about it and we're comparing this whole story with John Locke and how that equates to the series finale, and talking more about Sawyer, which we'll get to when we get to those episodes, it's making me honestly automatically ahead of time love the series finale even more before we even get to talk about it.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. The last season's great.
I think it is. And I think I've made this argument before and I stand by it. Anybody who didn't like the final season, especially the finale, just didn't get it.
And that's okay. That's okay, because Lost is a show that is meant to be rewatched.
I agree.
So,
and hopefully there are people that are listening that'll feel the same way by the time they get to it. Like maybe
I think Steve does.
I think Steve's mind has changed a little bit for the better. So, sorry.
It's okay. I don't have a lot more to talk about, but the one thing that I really did want to talk about was, what is the deal with young Jacob and the bloody arms, and then showing up later and he doesn't have bloody arms? I don't know. If I'm supposed to know, I don't remember.
Well, the interesting thing about that being young Jacob is the fact that as a first-time viewer, we don't know yet that that's young Jacob.
That's true, huh?
We haven't met young Jacob yet in the first watch through. I think that's actually coming next episode. I could be wrong.
Lighthouse?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
we know it is young Jacob because we've already seen the series. As a
Right.
first-time viewer, we don't know that that's who that is. We just think it's a child. So I'm going to hold off answering that question until we actually meet him.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know.
So we'll put a pin in it.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tack it to the board. We'll revisit that later.
Yes.
So yeah, and also because I just don't know.
Right.
That's another reason.
I don't know.
So, but yeah, like you, excuse me. I don't know if I have a lot of other notes.
Do we know why Kate wasn't on the wall when they were discussing the candidates that were left?
Is she not on the wall, or is she just already crossed out?
Well, that's what I'd like to know. And if she is crossed out, what was the deciding factor? Because the people at the temple still think that she's a candidate, which is why she was let into the temple.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she's number 51 on the list.
Which is 15 backwards.
Oh, good call. Kate Austin, who met Jacob as a child when she was caught trying to shoplift a lunchbox. Jacob helped her by paying for the yada, yada, yada. Sawyer told Kate that he saw her name in the cave and that it was crossed out.
Interesting.
And out of the show, pictures confirmed this. However, the name Austin was seen in the lighthouse and not crossed out. Jacob later confirmed that he crossed out Kate's name only because she became a mother and that the job was still open to her if she wanted it.
Ah, okay. Oh, Jacob, what a good dude.
So Aaron is the reason.
Yeah.
Why her name is crossed out. Not because anything happens to her, but because he just figured maybe she wouldn't do it. No, she had another reason.
He made an assumption.
It's a good assumption. I'm not faulting him for it.
Well, Sun was a mother.
But we also don't know that if Kwan was for Jin or Sun.
That's true.
It could have been for either. Whichever one was willing to do it. But it would be interesting too that if he was willing to cross out Kate's name because she was a mother, why not cross out Jin's name because he's a father?
I don't know.
Unless the baby's not Jin's.
No, they did it with dates or something.
Oh, I know. I mean, I know.
Yeah, they confirmed that he was the father.
I'm just throwing another theory.
Because she got pregnant on the island, which was the danger.
I remember. I was just throwing another.
Think you did.
I was throwing just another theory out there to make people crazy.
Dun.
That's all. But yeah, and Sun could have been the same way. Oh God, their story is so tragic.
I know.
I don't want to talk about that yet.
Let's not. But all of my stuff is crossed out.
Yeah, I let's see. Bad luck lock. That was my first note. Yeah, Helen, John's father, smoke. Oh, it was really cool seeing the point of view of the smoke monster.
Yes, I agree.
It was very Evil Dead-ish to anybody who has seen.
Oh yeah, that's movies.
Not me. Man in Black sees young John Locke. Sawyer knows that Locke is not John. John and Hugo. Rose laid to rest. Teacher accepting. Blind follower. Alana climbed down. So yeah, all my notes are pretty much good.
Yeah,
we've covered pretty much everything.
We did well.
But a great episode, and like you mentioned, kind of a great ending for John.
Mm-hmm. So, absolutely.
But we're not done. We're not done with John. We're definitely going to see more John Locke as we progress forward. Because like I said, we're going to see him go to visit Jack for that for that consultation. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Next episode, however, is Lighthouse, as you mentioned. Hurley must convince Jack to accompany him on an unspecified mission.
Love it.
And
love it.
Jin stumbles across an old friend who I don't remember who that is. We'll find out when we watch it.
I'm excited.
That leads us into feedback, in which we have two. We have a voicemail from our friend Steve and an email from our buddy Des. I believe you have the email from
I do.
Des.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to
do you want to start with that?
Yeah.
Let's start with that because I think it's actually on last week's episode.
Yes. What Kate Dunn did, is doing, and will continue to do. That's the title of the email from Des.
Nice.
Okay, so it says, "Hey guys, I know I'm really behind, but here goes. First of all, I was listening to the pod while driving and writing notes down at red lights. First thing I wrote was Doran. You said it, and I went with it because I forgot his name was Dugan too. Dogan too. Anyway, I don't think that he has Richard Alpert's state of eternal youth. My only reason for thinking this is that he appears with Jack in The Flash sideways. If I'm not mistaken, we never see Richard, Jacob, or Men in Black in any of these scenes. Dogan is there with Jack at the school, I think, watching his daughter. This makes it seem as though Dogan belongs in the same time period as Jack. On the subject of The Flash sideways, you mentioned Ethan. How it was weird seeing him honestly wanting to help Claire. I think this makes a lot of sense. In the sideways, we see that some people behave differently, have completely different relationships or professions than on that island. I think in the sideways, we see the true person at their very core. Ooh, I like that. Ethan did bad things on the island, but maybe that wasn't who he was at his core. Okay, I'm done being deep. Now I'm going to be an asshole. Although I think it's possible that a Jacob version of Christian could have been in the cabin with Cuckoo Claire trying to help her, but I believe you are right about Island Christian always being MIB. But if Christian and MIB were always the same, why did Christian have on the white tennis shoes? You guys are the ones who thought the shoes were the litmus test of good and evil on this show. Just saying. Also, can we just not talk about the fast and the fatiguing for 1 week? Don't laugh, Kristen. I think it's funny that if you had a British accent, then you would talk nonstop.
Did you speak with a British accent last week?
Remember, I nailed it.
And I'm offended by the fast and fatiguing, Des. It's not fatiguing. It's not fatiguing at all.
Don't bring it up if you don't want to. If you don't want to hear about it, because now he's going to talk about it.
And you just brought it up, so I'm going to mention that Fast X is now out on streaming. So go and watch it.
Gross. Golly.
And they just announced that The Rock is coming back to do another spin-off movie before we get part 2 of Fast X.
Great. Maybe they're going to go into space too. All right.
Bring him on.
Where's our live Steving?
Yeah. So as we mentioned, we have a voicemail from, way to change the subject too, by the way.
Yeah.
We have a voicemail live Steving from our buddy Steve. So here it goes.
Hello, Ben and Kristin. This is Steve, and this is going to be for, gosh, do we have to watch this flashback every time of Juliet dying? Seriously, this is for The Substitute. Oh, and it's a Locke-centric sideways flash whatever episode. Oh, I feel so bad for him. This day just keeps getting worse and worse. Now, Katie Seagal. Have we seen her before?
Squirrel.
Oh, this is Helen, the Helen that he was talking to on the phone, right? Or no, this is the Helen that broke up with him because of the stuff with his father. And then he was talking to the person on the phone. He was calling her Helen. Okay, and now we're back to present day Island. Oh, this is creepy. Smoke monster perspective, POV. Fired. Oh no. So maybe he did go on the walkabout in this timeline? I don't understand. It's foggy. Another show with a creepy vision of creepy little kids. Come on. What was that John just saw? There's a fairly reasonable chance that you won't believe me. Yeah. Oh, Sawyer, you do not look good. You're not taking things well. Did he just pour like 4 fingers of whiskey or 5 fingers of whiskey in each glass? That's right. Hurley bought the box company that Locke works for. Ew, was that some kind of critter on John, the dead body's head that just crawled off when... I can't remember what Jeff Fahey's character's name is. Not John Locke, just uttered John Locke's favorite line, "Don't tell me what I can't do," to this creepy kid who I don't know. I don't remember this kid at all. Okay, Richard, you've kind of lost it at this point. But yeah, Sawyer's going to stay with Locke. Oh, and Rose is the supervisor at this temp agency that Locke is. I'm so glad I never had to go through one of these interviews. This is great. She's not going to tell him what he can't do. Let's find out what you can do. Oops. Ben just revealed to everybody else that he murdered John in his eulogy. And the suitcase full of knives makes its reappearance. Oh, this is sad. This John Locke has lost his faith. And I don't remember how this turns out. I'm choked up at it. Oh, no. I'm out. This ladder, no way. Well, that was tense because I don't remember what happens. So I don't know that Locke isn't trying to kill James. A cave with all of their names and other names scratched out. These are candidates, right? But I don't remember candidates for what. John Locke, school teacher. And Ben works at the school too. We're all touched by Jacob. Okay, protector of the island. Okay, next episode, Lighthouse.
Jeff Fahey's character, Lapidus.
He said something earlier that was how bad of condition Sawyer was in. It looked like Sawyer had peed himself.
He was incredibly drunk. I would not have been surprised if that was the case.
Oh no, yeah. They really went all out with making him look rock bottom.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
When Not Locke found him, for sure.
I do love that he was listening to Iggy Pop though.
Yeah.
That was great. Steve, by the way, thank you for the voicemail as always.
Always.
I did think of something else though too in the listening to that voicemail in regards to Helen, that kind of does give us that hint again that this is the moments before passing on into the afterlife. Because if you remember correctly, when John gets off the island before Ben murders him, and he finds out through now I can't remember the character's name, he finds out that Helen did die.
Oh, through Abignon.
Abignon. That's right. Helen had a brain aneurysm and died.
So is that going to happen?
No, because this is not a real life. This is the moments before afterlife. So that would explain why she is still alive.
Oh, I see.
In this.
I see.
Because she's kind of already passed.
Right.
So, there's that, which made me, I kind of thought about that a little bit as I was listening to Steve's voicemail. So, but thank you, Des and Steve, of course, for the feedback. And if you want to leave us feedback for this show, any episode we've done, future or past, easiest way to do that, we encourage you to do so, obviously, is go to revisitedpod.com. And there you can find ways to subscribe, to watch the videos, to leave us feedback, and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
Recommendations for the week. Fast X. No, I'm not going to make Fast X my recommendation for the week.
It was going to be.
No, it wasn't. It was never going to be Fast X. This is a little bit of a it's a little bit of a plug for a streaming service, but it's not a typical streaming service like Netflix or Hulu. There is, if you're familiar with College Humor, that puts out a lot of shorts and stuff like that. College Humor has their own streaming service called Dropout. It's at dropout.tv. It's $6 a month. If you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, they do Dungeons and Dragons games on there where we record them, and they're called Dimension 10 or Dimension 8. That number might even be wrong too. I don't remember. But they've done a number of campaigns on there. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there are 2 shows on Dropout that they do that I absolutely love. I watch them every time they put out new episodes. One is called Make Some Noise, which is an improv comedy show where they bring on 3 contestants and they give them prompts that they have to do stuff to, and they're absolutely hysterical, and the kids are brilliant. And then there's another one called Game Changer, where every episode they play a different improv game, but the contestants don't know what the game is. They have to figure out the game by playing it.
That's fun.
So they have to figure out what the rules of the game are by playing it, how to win it by playing it, and it becomes hysterical along the way. These kids are all brilliant. They're in their 20s and 30s. They're absolutely hysterical. And the nice thing about Dropout is it's uncensored as well. So the language and the material are completely adult, which is great. So if you're into improv and comedy and you just really want to laugh, there are a ton of shows It's well worth the $6 a month if you could swing it. But yeah, Dropout.tv is my recommendation for this week. And the two shows, if you do sign up, Make Some Noise and Game Changer are two of my absolute favorites.
That's awesome.
That are on there.
Love it.
The other one that's on there too, there's another one, and it's coming back for a new season next week, actually. It's called Breaking News, in which there are 4 people, 2 newscasters, a weather, and a sports. They have to read the teleprompter. They don't know what their script is. It's whatever's fed to them on the teleprompter. And
it's kind of like when SNL, when they do the switching.
Yes.
They write each other's jokes.
The objective is to not break. That's why it's called Breaking News.
Love that.
So they keep a tally on how many times people laugh as they go through it. It's hysterical watching people laugh and watching people try not to laugh as they go through. But that's my recommendation for the week.
Nice.
Dropout.tv.
Very original too. I like it.
Yeah. As we mentioned, next episode, season 6, episode 5, The Lighthouse, which is
Jack episode.
It's a Jack-centric episode, which will be fun. Any final notes before we head out?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm cruising.
Fair enough. Then with that being said, thank you guys always for listening, for taking in the podcast, whether it's an audio or video form, just being a part of this podcasting family. We're excited for the next series. Promise you within the next couple weeks, we'll make the announcement of what it is. But the people we've already told are incredibly excited, which is very, very hopeful. Always fun. Yes. But until next time, we'll see you guys further on down that rabbit hole. Take care.
Bye.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!